What's up, everybody? Holding Ash with you here, bringing you 7 Deadly Sins manga review. This is chapter 309. Epilogue 3 is the title. This was a very intriguing chapter, playing off from last week's villains, how everyone feels like down and depressed because they know Meliodas is leaving soon. And a lot of them are feeling like this is horrible. Elizabeth is not saying nothing, Meliodas is not saying nothing, so everyone feels depressed and down. And you have Meliodas being Meliodas, trying to cheer everyone up. So he does something stupid and he just puts his face in Elizabeth's chest and he starts squeezing her. And he's like, "What's so down for?" And you see her blushing and she picks up Meliodas like a kid and she just she puts him to the side. And he's trying to cheer everyone up and everyone is like, "Captain, where are we going? Aren't we supposed to be going back to the kingdom?" Because if you remember, last week they had to pick up supplies in the last chapter, so they're going back to the kingdom, and it's kind of weird because he's taking a detour somewhere, and we don't get to find out yet what it is. But then we do get to switch over to the king of Leonis, Elizabeth's father, I guess you can say, or stepfather. And he's showing off this beautiful ring that he got from Elizabeth to, the sisters, Margaret and Veronica. And they was like, "But your birthday's not until like a couple, I believe, weeks or months." I forgot what they said. It's one of the two, but she gave him a birthday gift, that beautiful ring, a couple of days earlier, and he's super, super excited like a kid. And they both sisters are smiling and looking at the father, just shaking their head like he can't keep his happiness down. And it was just a funny, cute moment. But that ring ties in to what you see in the thumbnail, because we find out that where he went was Danafal. I believe it was pronounced Danafal. No, not Danafal. It's the city where the vampires were at, in that one special chapter. And if you don't know, a lot of the special chapters that we get from Taizai, a lot of those chapters are actually canon. So they're more like backstories that we just get in, or side stories, but they're still canon. And he basically went to the vampires then, because it was vampire that he did not kill. Because remember, the 7 Deadly Sins on that mission, they were supposed to kill all the vampires. But there was one that he did not kill, that he let lived. And it was, I believe her name is pronounced Gilda, or Gilla, the lover of Zodorus. And he releases her from the black coffin that he had put her in. And she's like, "I was hoping that one day when I was released from this, it would be Zodorus that stands in front of me. But I was not expecting to see you, Meliodas." And he was like, "Yo, what's up?" like nothing like happened between them, like everything's fine. Even though he was the one who defeated her family, killed them all, and stood her there, but it was just hilarious. And he basically, they had this whole discussion about Zodorus, that he's no longer here, that he went missing. And supposedly what Meliodas believes is that the reason why Zodorus is missing is because probably after the war and he felt defeated, he gathered all the leftover demons that were alive, which wasn't many, and they all headed back to the demon realm. That was Meliodas' guess. And he tells this to Gilda, but she was like, "No matter where he's at, no matter wherever even he is in the demon realm, I'm going to go follow him and be with his side." And then she looks at Elizabeth and she was like, "You should know how I feel." And Elizabeth was like, "Wait, how do you know this and how do you know my name?" And her reply was very, I wouldn't say she was taking shots, but she was bringing up some past stuff. And she's like, "Well, you're very well known in the demon realm for the things that you have done in the past. So everyone knows your name." And she just flies off in like this black shadow ball and she's out. And we don't see her no more. And then we get to the end of the chapter, the good part. They're having a party. They're finally there with the king. And the king made an announcement to everybody. But he was speaking mainly to Meliodas. He was like, "I need you to do me a favor. I need you to marry Elizabeth and become the new king of Leonis." And everybody was like, "What? Are you serious?" Forgive me if you heard my phone. But Meliodas, he spit off all his alcohol he was drinking on the king. And then you had one of the royal guard just hit him in the head, the one with the mask. It was hilarious. And he was like, "Wait, what?" And then he was like, "I asked Margaret and Gildan the first, But they was like, we're not ready for those roles and we don't believe we can. So you're the only two left that can ask. And Meliodas didn't know how to respond. And this is when, as you see in the thumbnail, Elizabeth steps in. And she grabs Meliodas' arm and she tells everybody, I'm sorry, we cannot fulfill this either. Because when Meliodas leaves to the demon realm, I'm going with them. And everyone, as you also see my other side of the thumbnail, everybody was like, what? And that's how the chapter ends. And everybody's freaking out when Elizabeth said this. Everyone was like, what? You leaving too? So, it makes sense why she wasn't really worried about Meliodas leaving. I mean, you gotta think about it. If he's going back to the demon realm, what's gonna stop her from following? I mean, the demon realm doesn't have no laws that no one else can come in from other races. It's not like the human world. The human world at a certain power level will not allow you to stay there. So, but that's just the human realm. We don't know about all the other realms. And the fact that there's a human realm and a heaven realm and a hell realm or demon realm, then you have to imagine if there's these three realms in purgatory, there have to be other realms out there. So, just throwing that out there just to clarify, there could be. Because Nakama did say he's gonna, if he does continue Seven Deadly Sins, he wants to do a spin-off of Arthur. And that spin-off can be him going to different realms, learning different things, so he can be the true King Arthur. Just throwing that theory out there. I'm not sure if anyone already guessed that or thought of that, but that's just my thoughts on it. But going back to this king and queen stuff, we know Meliodas, he got the Demon King's power. We know when he goes back to the demon realm, he's going to most likely be the one in charge. And if Elizabeth is going to go with them, then that will make her the queen of it. Which is going to be kind of weird, having a demon queen and she's an angel. But that's just how the story goes, I guess. But I do have two theories on who can take the place of the king. One, Veronica, the second oldest daughter. Her and Gilmore can finally get together and stop hiding their feelings for each other. And they could become the next king and queen. The second candidate for king and queen, which I'm leaning more towards this one than any of the other theories that I have, but it could be King and Diane. Now, let me explain why. We know the king is not afraid to give up his throne to anybody because he's willing to give it to Meliodas, the demon. He's not even human or in the human realm. So, but it would make more sense for King because if King and Diane were to get the throne and get married, this will allow all three races, humans, giants, and fairies, to coexist in this one big kingdom. We're still having the fairy forest as a side kingdom. So this would benefit all three of the great races, 3 of the 5 great races, all together. So this makes more liable to end the story with Diane and King being married and becoming the next king and queen of Leonis than anybody else. Now there is a third and final option, but this one is a very, very stretch and I don't see it happening. Bon and Elaine, they could get married and they could become the next king and queen, but with Bon's personality, I don't really see him as a king. I believe Elaine could play that off real good, but not Bon. Because we know how Bon is. He's a heavy hitter drinker, and yeah, that just wouldn't really make any sense story-wise, but it is still a possibility. A very stretched one, but yeah, a possibility. But those are the 3 possibilities that could take place, and one of them could become king and queen of Leonis. Again, I'm going with my second theory, Diane and King. I believe it will make more sense. All the training they've been going through, the fact that they were trained by previous kings, and they all from the bloodline of kings, and they have very high magic power and physical strength, it just makes a whole bunch of good sense and logic that these two will end up getting the throne and getting married. But then on the other hand, unlike Elizabeth, she's not really part of the bloodline, so, and we know the king's not really scared to give it away to someone who's not part of the bloodline, like I said earlier. So, I mean, even though it's not like King is getting married to one of the sisters, he could still become king if he gets married to Diane. So, either way, that theory just makes more sense, in my opinion. But that's all I have for you guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. Comment down below who you guys think are going to be the next king and queen for Leonis. in your opinion, who do you think will fit that bill to take that torch? Who's going to be the leader of the 7 deadly sins once Meliodas leaves with Elizabeth? Would it be Bond? Would it be Sis? Wizard Merlin? Would it be her? Would they disband? What do you think is going to happen next week when we get the climax, which is supposed to be the last chapter? Also, tell me how you guys think that whole Elizabeth and Meliodas becoming Demon King and Demon Queen, when they go back to the Demon Realm, how the other ones are going to feel about it. Do you guys believe that Gilda and Isildur are going to get together once they see each other again? If she can get there. Who knows, maybe she might just follow Meliodas and Elizabeth. She might sneak in with them, and that's how she gets back to the Demon Realm to find Isildur. Just throwing that theory out there. I mean, it would just make sense, right? But again, that's all I have for you guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Tell me what you liked and didn't like about this chapter. Give this video a like. Follow me on Twitter. Link me down below. That's all I have for you. Peace out and have a good one.